Well, why don't you explain what a watchman is, and then what the most important thing you think that your gift is for the kingdom, like how it's to play out.
Okay, I'll be talking about this more whenever we are doing the workshop, but when we see God call Ezekiel to be a watchman at that time, we kind of have them today. It's usually in our military where they're watching our borders, making sure nobody's flying across our borders that is going to harm us. The watchman would call them out, start to get people to engage on them. So back in the day, the watchman would stand on the wall and they would watch as people approached the gates because there were only so many places you could enter the towns, the cities, if you had a fortress. And they would call out and say whether they were a friend, they were an enemy, it was unknown. And so that is the call of the watchman, except for when God calls Ezekiel to be the watchman. He says, tell the people that I have this warning for them, and it was to save their soul if they were living a life of sinfulness. This is what they're doing. Tell them this is how to correct themselves, always through repentance. And if you tell them that and they ignore you, then the blood is on their hands. But if you ignore me and you don't tell them, their blood and their lack of salvation is on your hands. And I know that this is, people think that the watchman calling is dead today. Well, I think God has other things to say about that. And because I'm not the only one I know that has been called into that position and understood that position in the last few years. A lot of people haven't been talking about it until pretty recently. That is what a watchman does. Warn. They warn a lot, which can give you a heavy load to carry sometimes.